Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette here from hot and muggy Brisbane. It's okay if you're sitting in the shade with a bit of a breeze, but once you get out in the sun it's really hot, and because we've had rain coming and going, it's quite humid. It's been a while since I did my last video. As those of you who may have watched, I went down to New South Wales and Victoria to visit my parents and my husband's parents and my daughter. We hadn't seen either of our parents since COVID started, so it was good to finally be able to get down there and see them. Came back and life was pretty hectic and all over the shop, and then 3 weeks ago I thought, right, I'm ready, I'll do a video. And what happened? I came down with COVID, and the energy levels have been pretty low. So they're finally getting a bit better. So I thought this morning I'd just do a quick video, show you a few things, and try and get back on track with that. So the first few things I want to show you are not actually cross-stitch, but they've been the things, some of them I've been working on while I'm recovering from COVID. So I go to a knitting group with a friend, and we came across a crochet pattern called Peacock Plumes. It was a crochet along Afghan, and you got a section of it each week, and kept up pretty well until the last two sections, and both of us slowed down a bit by that point and also had COVID. So, but it's finished, and it's going to be a Christmas present for one of my granddaughters. So this is it. It's huge. It goes across a queen size bed. So I'll just show you the center. This is supposed to look like the crown of the peacock, you know, on the top of its head. Don't particularly like the way this sits, but it's okay. And then it goes out from the center, and it's round, and you go out until you've got the plumes and the eyes of the peacock here. It was a lot of fun to do, and it was probably a good project for the time when I was working on it. So that's one Christmas present for one granddaughter. So for my youngest granddaughter, who I've knitted a fox for before, I'll show you in a minute, I've made this little thing. I've got it in a little gift box, and it's a little mouse in what's called a walnut shell. If you look up walnut shell on Ravelry, you'll be able to find the pattern for this. They did theirs in brown. I didn't have brown, I had green. So, and she has a little blanket. Blanket sits over. So this granddaughter's 5, so I'm hoping she will enjoy that little project when she opens it up. Then the other granddaughter from up here is getting one of Louise Crowther's animals. I've knitted a few of those, and I was working on some to take south when I went, so I've just got photos of those because they've already been gifted. So one of them went to my great nephew. This is Maverick, and that's when he opened it. It was in a box, and he took it out and immediately he said it's a chimpanzee. And in the group that was on Facebook with this, it's a chimpanzee because it doesn't have a tail, and he knew. And he had to have it next morning when he got up, and had to sit on the couch and watch him colouring. So that's been quite a hit for him. And then I made a pig for my granddaughter who lives in Sydney, and I put them all in these boxes so they look pretty. So she liked that one. And then for my granddaughter who's up here, her birthday, the one who's going to get that little mouse in the box, this was her birthday present, was the fox. So I've also made a coat for the fox, which she'll get for Christmas as well. And that just, so I've got 5 granddaughters. The oldest one got a raccoon a couple of years back, and now they will all have them when we get to Christmas, because the other one who's up here, this is the last one. She is madly into pandas. So this is Miss Panda, and she will go to the other one up here. So as of Christmas, all 5 will have one of these lovely animals. They're fun to make. The bodies are pretty quick. the clothes can be a little bit more complex, but I've enjoyed knitting them. I'm recording this for a second time because the first time my sound seemed very low, and I'm not sure whether it's much better, and I'm still struggling with my throat, so we'll just have to go with it this time. So then, one other non-stitchy thing I made was this quilt. I think I was working on this. Oh, that's what I meant to do last time. If you were watching, I'd made a quilt of cross-stitch pieces that we had given my stepmother over the years, and because now she's in the dementia place and they had to downsize, they all came back to me, and I took them apart and I made them into a quilt, and that quilt is now hanging on her wall in her room, which is really lovely. I meant to have a photo to show you, but I forgot. So, but this was a block of the month that I was doing as well. So the top of this is now finished. It's a square. It's probably a little bit wider than a single bed square. Oh, it's upside down. Where's the snails? The snails are fun. These snails climb up across it. So that's that one. Sorry, a text just popped up on my screen. I'll get back to that after. So a couple of previous finishes. I've got a project bag that I made out of a cross stitch that my friend Jenny gave me the pattern for a birthday one year. She kitted it up, and she kitted them up for herself, and I don't think she's finished hers. But I like that project bag. Haven't put it into use yet. I have on the top of those 3-tiered trolleys my Flosstube things, and got a bit. I had to remember what was in there. This was a cross-stitch collectibles bookmark, and it's supposed to be twice as long as this, but I just decided I'd prefer to work on some other full coverage, so I just squared it off and put it into this bag. If you want to see a beautiful one of these, Jan Hicks did one quite a while ago now, and she framed hers. It's really pretty. Her colour's a bit more intense because she used tooth stains. I've only used one. So that's that one. Then I started the Little Dove Designs Christmas cross stitch along, which is this one. And all the parts are out now because you got a part, I can't remember, 5 I think. So this is where I've got to. Now whether I finish this, I don't know. The birds are cute. Whether I do the whole lot, I don't know at this point. So that was a stitch along. It was fun. So then that brings me to the Magazine Monthly Challenge prompts, because I enjoy that group. I find it really handy to put challenges together for myself that help me progress along. So the theme, oh, that's just the project bag. That was made out of leftover cooling stuff. That's the project bag for the stitch along. The theme for December was Razzle Dazzle, and I'm doing this Christmas stocking. This is by Cooler Design Studio, with a K, Cooler Designs. And it's gingerbread mice, mice making gingerbread house. And this is the corner of the heel, and I've just got the toe to do. Now there's quite a bit in here. I'm hoping to have it finished by the end of next week. We will just have to see. If I stick at it, I can, but the way things are, it's a bit up and down. It's called Razzle Dazzle because in here there's a lot of glitter, which I don't think you can pick up on there at all. It's a blending filament that goes through. I have been really enjoying it. It's been probably 2 years on the go. So that's for my daughter, who managed to lose a stocking I'd made her before, so I thought she needed another one. So that's the theme, Razzle Dazzle. Then the acrostic is Twinkle. So T is for the border, because I'm doing this Maria Casson sampler from Lucy Bean, and I don't know when I started this. It was probably at least 4 years ago, and I just decided I'd really like to have the border finished, and then I can just work on all the coloured stuff. I work on this on a Tuesday morning. Krista Gramer from Just Stitch Along does a Stitch With Me live video on Monday night, their time. I'm not quite sure where she's in the US, and it works out at Tuesday morning here. It's usually working, but I take an hour coffee break and I stitch on this and enjoy the live video. And you can see the border is nearly round. So it's not the whole border I just wanted to do. I just wanted to get all the green bits done. And we'll add all the flowers. So I'm quite enjoying working on that. Funny thing happened with this. I started it a while back, and then I pulled it out, and I kept going here, and then I'm going, those greens are different colours. I couldn't lie for me work out why I had two different greens, so I wasn't going to unpull it, so I've just used two different greens the whole way through, and it sort of looks like a variegated thread a little bit. And by the time you add all the flowers and everything, it'll be fine. It was a bit of fun just working out when to change the colours too. So there's a tip: if you do something stupid like that, you can get your way out of it. So it's T from Twinkle. W is We Gnome. So this one is I started this. This is from the World of Cross Stitching. Sorry, I can't remember. Oh, and I've crushed it since I've done the video the second time. The Magazine Monthly Challenge had a pop-up challenge for, it's called I'm a Gourd, and you have to stitch on something with a gourd or a pumpkin, and I found this piece, I like this piece, so I decided to start that, and then I just finished it for W, so that was good to have a finish. I is for Cruising the Information Highway. It's a Heaven and Earth design by Randal Spangler. I've been working on it forever. I'd really like to have it finished by the end of next year if I can, but it's got a lot of work, and I was supposed to do it all this year and I haven't. We'll just have to see what happens, but I would like to have that finished. And then N was for New Start. So the Cross Stitcher magazine from the UK, they have a new Stitch Along for 2023. It's houses. And Jenny, my friend, and I were going to do it, so that'll be my new start. That mightn't happen till after Christmas at the moment. K is for Chris Kringle, which will be my Barbara Anna's 2020 Santa's Trips Christmas Stitch Along. I've got a bit of the border done. It's got 9 blocks. I just put my challenge for this. It's just to finish one of them. L was for late edition, so this is this one. I won this in a giveaway from Caron Zook, and we'd had a couple of issues with a couple of giveaways, so she decided, she felt so bad about it, she was going to kit it up. She had no need to do that, but I have really enjoyed using the kit for this. So I've done this, I've done the word believe, I've done December 25th, so essentially I only got this bit to go. I would like to have it finished. We'll just have to see. So here it is. And I'm using 28 count lamb's wool and the call for threads, which she included in it. So it's a simple, fun stitch. And I really want to get it finished because that's pretty much what it's going to need. I'm going to have this whole other half. And I've got one of those Stacey Nash animal crackers that I want to have a go at. So I want to do that on the other half. So part of the motivation for finishing this was so I could cut the fabric and have the other part for a new start. And that's all I've got. And E will be for Everything is Green, which is my Death by Cross Stitch piece, which is all done in DMC 501, I think, which was my favourite colour when I started it. I still like it, but it's probably not as favoured as it was. So for 2023, people have been talking about their plans. I heard someone else made a comment on someone's Flosstube about planning about having COVID and just the brain just doesn't really want to work too hard. So my 2 pieces I would like to finish in 2023 are Death by Cross Stitch and Cruising the Information Highway. So I'm going to try and keep working on those every week until they're done, and then throw in all the other fun stuff along the way. So that's my plans for 2023, pretty basic. I noticed Sarah Stitching Mummy is doing full coverage February, so that would work well with my Cruising the Information Highway and some of my other full coverages. I've got a few, and I would like to work on them a little bit more. So I might do full coverage February. Whip Warriors is another group I've joined, and an Aussie in a Kiwi world, stitching in a Kiwi world. I can't quite remember. It's just something that Laura. Now I'm dropping Facebook Flosstube names. Laura of Stitching by the Shore talked about. I can't remember her name. The Aussie in New Zealand, so Aussie in a Kiwi world, and she talked about Whip Warriors group, and they have been a no new start group. They've now got a 23 thing where you do 23 projects, but then they've also got a lower level which is stitch what you want when you want. And I was thinking of doing the 23 one, but I don't think I'm that dedicated for a whole year, so I might look at the other one. So it's if you're interested in trying to get some of your whips done, you might like to look at that, and that group is closing shortly. It's not too far off her closing it, and you have your plans in place. I also watch Sarah's Stitching Spot. I enjoy her, and of course Mama Loves You GB, Brenda and Laura, and Carol the Saltbox Stitcher, all favourites. And there's just so many out there. Angie of Little House Stitcher, yeah. There's a lot of fun videos to keep up with. So thank you for those who've watched me before and have finally come back, and for anyone else who's watched, it's just a bit of fun, and it keeps you on track doing these, and I'm hoping next year we're a little bit more consistent. So at this stage, have a happy new year, have a great Christmas, and we'll see you in 2023. Bye.